Hello, everyone. I'm Olivia Beardsmore from Firebird Firewalks, and I'm delighted to, well, not actually have with me in person, but here online, Matt and Jenny from Q Branch. So, welcome, Matt and Jenny.
Olivia.
Hi, Olivia. Great to be here. Thanks for inviting us.
Thank you for coming along. It's a pleasure to have you here and share something very exciting with everybody. So let's jump straight into it. You've got a really special event coming up this month, and I know that you guys have been putting so much effort, thought, drive, and passion into this experience. Would you like to tell us what it's called and what it's about and the vision behind why you created this event? I know that's a lot in one hit, but I'm quite passionate about it as well, so I'd want to cover all the bases.
Great, great. Yeah, it's amazing. It's called Mission Accelerator Live, and it's for founders, business owners, and even leaders from corporate roles. And really, it's about turning people's potential into actual, purpose and profit, because we know, particularly now, the world's getting noisier, the world's getting busier. Like, it's not about working harder, it's not about more tactics. It's about getting really a system and a mindset and an ethos of change to really get things flowing. Because we're on quite a powerful mission ourselves. We all know the statistics around, the fact that 80% of businesses fail.
Yeah.
And that's hard, because behind those businesses are real people, real passions, and real opportunities and ideas to make change that makes all our world better. That, and those ideas might not get, out there to do the good in the world that they need to do, with 80% of businesses failing. The other statistic that's less known is that beyond that 80%, the next 17% of businesses never, oh, my little thumbs come up.
Brilliant.
They Sadly, those businesses never get out of what we call the struggle zone, the sort of repeating the same year over and over again, going round and round in circles. And it's only actually the top 3% of businesses that really thrive. And it's in that top 3% that all the joy lives, all the freedom lives, and all the wealth and change lives. And let's face it, anyone out there who's entrepreneurial, running a business, they're the reasons we went into this in the first place.
Oh,
Um, so our big mission in life is to help people get to that 3%. And we're running this new event as a flagship of how we help people get there. And it's really about immersing yourself in 4 days and 5 nights of intensive change, in terms of thinking, mindset, strategy, in order to get to that 3%. And we've really brought a team of amazing people to do that.
And it's going to be lots of fun too.
Oh, it's also going to be lots of fun. It's not going to be work, work, work. There's going to be so much fun in there, because it's all part of the process.
yeah. Well, I know you're passionate, both of you, about experiential learning, and there's tons of courses online where people promise, oh, take my course online and you will be able to do this. And I know many people who've invested hundreds and thousands of pounds into online courses and not had the results from it. Why would someone coming to your experiential experience in stunning location, you've got chefs and rooms and amazing people there, what is the difference that they will benefit from being with people, with you guys guiding them along this journey?
So we've done the online courses. So we've paid the thousands of pounds for the online courses and gone, yes, that suits me. And a lot of it doesn't. And it's not relevant today, because often the courses will be from a year, 2 years ago, and things are moving so quickly now. And we've also done the experiential courses that we really loved, but we were in rooms with 200-300 people and a speaker up on the stage who, although it was amazing and it was a brilliant experience, we spent about 4 separate weeks doing different programs all over Europe. So we really had to travel. And by the end of it, it was amazing. And we learned a lot. But again, there was not the one-to-one contact that sometimes you do need when you've got a question. Like, you're battling with 200 to 300 people who want to ask questions too. And you come home exhausted, and you've still got to find food, and you've had to find your own accommodation, and all of these things that interrupt learning and embodiment. So we wanted somewhere that was really beautiful to stay, that felt relaxing, felt calming, where you could just go off. Because both me and Matt, I'm diagnosed ADHD. We're both probably neurodivergent, undiagnosed, but we need time away sometimes. We need some quiet, and we don't always need that 200-300 people in the room. And we don't want to think about food. So we thought, what can we do? I mean, who, when you're immersed in stuff, wants to go away and think about what to do for tea?
Yeah.
So that was really important for us.
Yeah, that whole side. And listen, like, online courses, trainings, all that is great, but what people don't need now is more information and more tactics. It's all available for free online in cheap books. You know, books are cheap now. Yeah. All the information's out there already, but the stats aren't changing and people's results aren't changing, because you really have to make change and implement stuff at an identity level, at a personal level. And most of the problem isn't the information, it's actually the bit that sits between your left ear and your right ear.
Yeah.
It's what goes on in here. So yeah, the information's great, and we are going to train a ton of the latest information, but we're going to make sure it's activated, and that's the difference.
Yeah. What will happen is the experts will sit in the room and they will do the training, and our trainers, I'll talk about them in a minute, are brilliant. And of course, me and Matt are one of them. I tend to sit back and watch what's going on, and I can really pick up when people aren't understanding things, when there's deeper work that needs doing. So with our own clients now, we won't move forward with something when we realize that there's a block there. We'll deal with the block before it causes ongoing problems. So that's the sort of thing that we will be doing at the time is, oh, something's coming up for that person. Let's deal with it now, so that we're not doing all this work and leaving them still confused and blocked with it. So we've got Matt doing the first day, which is on brand and strategy and what the future looks like. But we do goal setting in a very different way. We've combined lots of different modalities. We use some NLP work. We use a lot of different things for our goal setting. So it's quite different to standard goal setting.
And then when it comes to brand, we're not doing logos and fonts and colors. We're doing the strategy of how you grow brand. And I've worked with some of the biggest brands on the planet, from Bacardi to EE to Sony, and I'm going to bring the strategies of those top 3% brands to people in a way that they can implement in a brand of any size, and the strategies that really move the needle. And I can tell you, it's not a Canva logo, and it's not a color, and it's not a font.
I did not know this when I started in business. It was only when I met Matt online dating, and he looked at my stuff and went, can we start again? I was like,
we're not going to AI our logo then. We're going to
absolutely not. In fact, in the whole brand section, I'm going to talk about logos, colors, and fonts for all of about 7 minutes. So that's how important those things are. So We're going to do brand. We're going to spend a whole day with Jenny on money mindset, because let's face it, if your financial thermostat, as we call it, is set low, it doesn't matter what you do with strategy, teams, marketing, or whatever, you're going to get a financial result that just isn't going to move. So we're going to unlock that for people. And then Jenny's going to move on in the afternoon to self-belief, because that's the other big blocker. Even if you're a corporate leader, your self-belief determines how well you can lead your team, the projects, all of those things. And you're coming to do a very special thing that evening on self-belief.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
also the difference here is because it's a small group of people, it will be very fluid as to what I do. And a lot of it will be based on what we did the day before. So it's not a rigid, this is the thing we are doing and we can't do anything else. It's going to be, okay, this is the thing that we're doing, but what else needed addressing from yesterday? And we will work on those things. So again, you'll get, because it's small groups, because we're all together, you'll get a lot of flexibility and you'll get a lot of access to us out with the session times as well, like over meal times and just in the down times. But yes, at the end of our day, we are going to do something that me and Matt did the first time that completely freaked us out. When we first did it, I was like, Matt, you're not doing that. Oh, you're not doing that. And I don't know if you want to tell the viewers a bit more about that, Olivia?
Yeah, with the arrow break. Is that the one you're on about? Yeah, okay. So we're going to be doing an arrow break workshop, which sounds horrendous, and I can understand you wanted to protect Matt in that moment. It's rite of passage that people do in different tribes across the world. And I ask people to put their finger into that delicate part of the neck and just feel what it feels like with their finger and the pressure. It is a delicate part of their neck, and it's linked to our body or our throat chakra. And but when we know that we have the power to lean into that and snap a real artery area, like these are not made for gimmicks for the event. Literally, if there's an archer on your course, they're heartbroken that you're literally snapping these arrows because they know the value of them. This is a real archery arrow, and that delicate part has the power to snap it and completely embody, as you mentioned before, Jenny, embodying that change and transformation in the moment of either releasing those blockages that you'll have worked on with them throughout the past few days, or stepping into something that they are owning who they are, or embodying that they can take up space in the room. So for me, it's such a powerful yet very simple, and I mean simple, not that it's not big for people to do it, but breaking an arrow literally is taking that step forward in power. So I'm really excited to bring that to your event.
It is amazing. And the reason I didn't want Matt to do it was because he had a tracheotomy. And as you say, just even touching that part of his neck was always really troublesome. So I was like, you're not putting an arrow there.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I did it, and I know that you're going to lead our delegates and people through it brilliantly. I can't wait to see the transformation that happens there, because we've been through several of those experiences ourselves, and I know transformation happens like in an instant in those situations, and I love it.
Yeah.
And then the next day we've got the amazing John coming to join us. He's had 25 years with real household names, leading operations for people like Virgin Active, Odeon Cinemas, a big indoor snow experience company. And he's going to be taking our delegates through a whole series of exercises around operational excellence and getting really excellent at the systems and operations and habits, particularly habits within our business that are pretty simple when you break them down, but have massive impact on the results you can achieve.
And then in the afternoon, we're going to do some abseiling.
Wow. We can get out into the Peak District because, hey, there's no point going to somewhere called the Peak District without experiencing some peaks, right?
Yeah.
I have never abseiled before. I'm quite excited about it. But also, so one of our other trainers, Steph, who's coming to do some Zen meditation practice every morning and every evening to get us into the flow and out of the intensity, she went, "Oh my God, heights!" Fortunately, I'm also trained in phobia work. So if anybody's got a height phobia, now is the time to come along and test that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's amazing because you know, you'd say, oh, well, I'm not into abseiling or I don't want to do abseiling. But what is it about doing abseiling that then impacts people in their businesses when they've done things that they didn't think they could do or want to do?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really good point. And none of the activities I would say are put into this process that we're doing with people just for a laugh. Like we're going to have a great time doing them, but they're there for a reason. And abseiling's there because every day in your business, you're going to reach an edge. You're going to reach an edge that you are either going to overcome and you're going to lean back out over that edge and you take control of how you feel about that, or you're not. You're going to retreat from the edge, and it's the constant pulling back from the edge that keeps businesses so stuck. So we're going to literally train our nervous systems to step out over that edge, over that free air, into the fear zone. And we're going to see and we're going to demonstrate how much fun actually it is when you do that. Not only fun, but you get the results.
It's about challenging yourself as well. When we've done the experiential stuff, and I say we've traveled all over Europe in the last few years doing these things, and we've picked kind of the best bits from some of those experiences. But we haven't done abseiling. There have been many times where I've been confronted with a thing. I mean, my family think I'm mad because I was like that girl that didn't even do PE. That's got hated PE, hated anything. And they're like, "What are you doing? Like, why are you doing all this stuff?" But when you sit at the challenge, whatever the challenge is, and your whole body is like, "No, I am not doing that," and then you do it, there's nothing quite like it. And then posting on Instagram and videoing yourself is like small fry.
Yeah.
It's those things that really make the difference of stretching our comfort zones. And some people will just go, "Oh, it's abseiling. I do that all the time. I'll just scale down the mountain. No, that's fine." But for other people, and they'll have a nice time doing it, but for other people, it's going to be really confronting and it's going to be life-changing. You see all these people in Traitors doing, not that I really watch Traitors, I get roped into it, but you see these people in Traitors doing these big missions that they're doing, and they do really change the way you look at the world and yourself within the world when you overcome that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, it's amazing. And then the carries on. You're not even finished yet.
Absolutely. I mean, the last day, and deliberately so. This is a journey that we're going on together. It's not a straight line. It's a journey. There are peaks and troughs, and the last day is really quite a pinnacle. So we've got Ryan coming in to spend the day with our delegates on sales mastery, and many people struggle with selling to clients, but also selling themselves and selling themselves to themselves. So Ryan approaches sales in quite a different way. It's less about the sort of secondhand car salesman that we all fear sales is, and more about sales as a way to provide service to people. And he's got some great techniques and frameworks that he's going to take us through. We're going to end after Ryan with...
Well, Ryan, it's also important to note that he's built several multi-million-pound businesses himself using these sales processes.
Yes, so he's not just regurgitating textbook stuff. Ryan's built many multi-million-pound businesses using these techniques, and trains corporate teams all over the country to do the same. So yes, none of our trainers, in fact, are regurgitating anything from a textbook. It's all from lived experience, from experiencing what actually works in the real world.
And I think there's a few people that go, oh, but there's nobody famous on this, so why would we want to go? The fact is, we're not stood on flashy stages doing this. We are actually working within industries, within businesses. We're in
the shadows. All of us working with actual companies doing this. So that's amazing. And we're going to round off after, Ryan, with a sort of celebration dinner of our time together. And then you're coming back to really round off the whole journey with something very special. Maybe you could tell us about that.
Yeah, sure. You're going to be walking over hot coals, which is phenomenal. I shared on our other call, it changed my life, and I would be somebody who would never walk on hot coals, and now you can't stop me. I've done thousands of firewalks, and it is fantastic. So, if there are things that people are listening to this and thinking, oh, well, I really liked it all until you got to the firewalk bit, don't come along, because I cannot tell you the amount of stories I've had where people have come along as spectators and or even they've come along with a partner and outright refused, that then they're only there to watch. And when it's accepted, they're in that surrender, there's no pressure, they feel the energy from the momentum of the night, and by the time we get to the firewalk, they're literally putting on a wristband and lining up to do the firewalks, because everybody's energy is infectious, and it's not a raw energy where it's hyping everybody up to and peer pressure to walk across it. It's building that momentum and the journey of self-belief. You as an individual are taking that step of your own choice, your own free will, because when they're back home running their businesses, there's no one there behind the back going, come on, let's sort your inbox out today, right? Come on, you need to get on with this. We're all there to make those choices and step forward ourselves. And the power of the firewalk, you can take with you at any point, whether you're going into an important meeting, making a difficult or challenging sales call, walking onto a stage. You can remember, I walked on hot coals, and just touch base with that moment again and take that with you. So I'm so thrilled you're having a firewalk there. I think it's a beautiful way to conclude your event.
And again, it was another thing where we went, okay, we need an end thing, a challenge at the end to celebrate all the journey they've been on. And I was like, well, we've never done a firewalk, so that's another thing we haven't done. So again, we're going to be in the mix with you guys. When the people on it, we're not going to be separate. We're not going to be, well, we're the trainers over in the corner in the other building, and you can come and see us when we say. We are going to be there with you the whole step of the way, over the food, over the experiences, and we haven't done some of this stuff ourselves, so we'll be challenging ourselves as much as you will. And I think that's the nice thing about this, is that it's going to be a really, really heavy touch with all of the trainers. We're not going to be hiding away in our green room waiting for our ta-da moment. We're going to be there alongside you all, doing the stuff. If you've got questions, we will be answering those questions. It's going to be a lot of togetherness, which is our main value for Q Branch, is about togetherness. So this is all going to be about all the togetherness.
Yeah, we're going to break bread together over the dinner table. We're going to be there bleary-eyed over breakfast together, sharing a coffee before we, hit back in it. And the transformation's not going to just live in the sessions or in the experiences. It's in the whole journey, which we're going to do together. And we know from experience that one of the things that people don't often talk about is, with these very close-knit experiential experiences, the people on it are just as important. And actually, you leave with a connected team of people that become lifelong friends, business partners, and supporters, because you've been through such a powerful thing together that, you trust them to call with, to run ideas by, or you need a bit of help with something, or you need something from their network. That's a real sort of unlisted benefit, really.
And in fact, that is where we met Ryan, on one of these experiences that we've been on.
It is, yeah.
That's how we met, and yeah, we're in each other's world now, and it makes the world better.
That's wonderful. I just feel that people will be very privileged to be on this event with you. The fact that you embody it, that you take that knowledge within you, your ideas are going to be flowing throughout because of the experiences that you have, but the connections that you make. Quite often, sometimes you're meant to meet people on different events that you go on, and it all synchronizes of what's meant to happen. People will leave change, not only personally, but professionally, and then implement those elements. So it's fantastic what you're both doing, and I can tell your hearts are in it. This isn't about the fame side of things. This is caring and nurturing and desiring people to lead better lives by growing their passion businesses. So
it really is. And we also understand a lot of people in our world doing entrepreneur type stuff. A lot of us are neurodivergent. A lot of us have been through a whole load of stuff. And the only thing that we really know how to do is to be ourselves and to try and have these businesses that we really want to have to make a difference in the world. And we know that's the case. But it's really hard when you're on your own without all the expertise, and you're just trying to push through and learn it all in such a short space of time because you have to earn money. So that's another thing that we're really conscious of, that it's a space where everybody is welcome and accommodated for. And we bring all of that expertise together from different people, not just from ourselves.
I love it.
And we are so passionate and confident in this that there's two things we're absolutely going to guarantee that everyone that comes along is going to get. Two things. You're going to get several what we call one-handed clap moments. And if I just demonstrate a one-handed clap to you, it's, oh, how did I not think of it like that? And that's largely what's going to happen. It's like, why did I not think about it like that? Because a lot of the stuff we're going to be doing is slightly contrary to what mainstream will tell you. And it is contrary to mainstream because mainstream is what delivers the 80% failure rate, quite honestly. So we guarantee you're going to get several of those, and we guarantee that you are going to leave changed, both professionally as a person. And if you show up and you really play full out, which we're going to encourage you to do and coach you to do, and you don't feel either of those things, then we will personally spend a bit of time with you afterwards to try and understand why that hasn't happened and what we can do to support you further down the road. So, we guarantee that this is going to have huge impact.
Wow, I'm so excited and I can't wait to join you for the workshops I'm running.
Yeah, well, I mean, we are super excited to have you as well, Olivia. It was such a great finding to find you and everything you're about and everything you offer. It was brilliant and really just rounded off everything that we were trying to do, and you got it instantly.
The other thing with these events as well is though they're often in Europe or in America or in other places where you've got to travel to. And especially in the current climate, travel isn't always that easy for people to do those things. And all they're in London. And I think it's nice for us to get out in the countryside and breathe some of that fresh air and have some of that peace and have it in the UK and really champion what the UK can do. We were on a call last night. I was doing an open coaching session with a group, and all of them were like, we really want to come on this, but they're all in America. So they're like, we really want to come because they've worked with us for such a long time, but they're not here. And this is really is for people in the UK who would love to do these things, but maybe the travel isn't possible. Or the other thing that's coming up a lot is, but I can't take a week out of my business. And I just want to challenge people to the question of, how many weeks do you get to the Friday and go, oh, I've really not achieved anything? And you spend months and months. A lot of people will be arriving now in March since January thinking, right, this is going to be my year. And they get into March going, still not really where I thought I'd be. So this 1 week out could change all of that stuff.
And that's a good point, Jenny, because that's exactly why it's on the date range it is, 23rd to the 28th of March, because we've done a quarter of the year since those January resolutions kicked in. We're also, for many businesses, most businesses, I would say, about to head into a brand new financial year at the end of March, beginning of April. So it's time to decide, like, are you going to repeat 2025 again, or shall we get in an amazing place together for a week and actually make some real change and make 2026 significantly better than last year?
Yeah, they're just brilliant points. Being out in nature, in the countryside, regulating your nervous system in that space of learning, investing in yourself. And I meet many people that can look at my Instagram page and think, oh, it comes easy to you, but they don't know behind the scenes. I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I'm learning and attending things and growing myself all the time. And that investment in attending something like the magic of what you've created, I would say is a win for your business, win for yourself, in taking that step forward. And speaking of the next financial year, you've kindly offered a really lovely, generous discount code for people. If they use the code Firebird, they can have £500 off. Is that correct? Yeah, I just wanted to check.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's really lovely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the link into my link tree on my Instagram page, so people can instantly access the tickets. It's going out in my newsletter this week. I'll tag it onto this post as well. So if you're seeing this and you feel buzzed, I mean, I feel buzzed up about it, it's exciting. I wouldn't hesitate to delay in booking your place on this, because this isn't hundreds of people in a room purposefully. It's intimate. It's with people there to connect and grow and gather. And as you can tell, you're going to be well looked after by Matt and Jenny and the unique, creative people who've lived these experiences to share it with you. So I look forward to seeing you soon. And hopefully those of you that feel called to be there, join us too, because it's going to be amazing. So thanks.
Come on.
Yeah. Thanks, Matt and Jenny, for
Fire.
sharing more. Yeah. And I'll tag Matt and Jenny in as well. So if you've got any more questions, please reach out to them and they'll fill you in on all the exciting things. And just to conclude, it's private accommodation, food cooked, a top Derbyshire chef, world-class trainers and facilitators, immersive outdoor challenges, and obviously a professionally guided firewalk. So
absolutely, and all inclusive, completely inclusive, and for a price point that you'd struggle to get the accommodation and food for on its own, to be quite honest.
Yeah. Double ensuite bedrooms individually, so there's no bathroom sharing or any of that stuff, which could feel really awkward at these events.
And there's a really special ticket, actually, if I may, just to round off, for couples or business partners who do want to share a room in either a top double ensuite or a twin ensuite. It's less than buy one get one half price.
Oh,
if you want to do it together.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. Well, you're going to be changing lives, changing businesses, and I don't feel like I need to wish you all the success, because I feel it's gonna, there's no doubt it's gonna happen. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me today, and yeah, see you
Olivia,
soon.
Thanks for your time, Olivia. We'll see you very soon.